Hi, my name is Fran Holtzapfel, and this is our third Road to Purple Learn from Friends video. Precinct Committee people are the backbone of our democratic strength in Northern New York. They are the resource for local Democratic voters and potential voters in their precinct. In this video, we are meeting 3 volunteers who each decided to become a precinct committee person. We'll learn from them how they approach being a resource for the Dems in their precinct. Our first committee person is Tom Yuntz. Hi, Tom. Thanks for meeting with me today.
Great to be here.
How long have you been a precinct committee person or PCP in Newberry 1 precinct?
Well, I volunteered to run just a couple months ago.
By whom were you appointed?
I got appointed by the York County Democratic Party people, and I have to run now for a 4-year term.
Oh, yes, that's right. That means you need to be on the ballot and be elected in the primary, which means you need to get petitions signed. In York County, we have a team of 2 people, male and female. And who is your counterpart in Newberry 1 precinct?
For the next election, it's going to be Nikki Byer is going to be running next. So we're going to be running as a team in the primary.
Here are 10 ways to be a resource in your precinct. Which part of the PCP duties have you already had experience doing?
Well, I've been part of lit drops and NYDC events and phone banking and election day poll presence and also postcard campaigns.
Why did you volunteer to be a precinct committee person?
Well, I wanted to help with and focus on having better elections and better government.
Tom, what do you like to do for fun?
One fun thing I've done and also challenging is I've twice been a major organizer for the Susquehanna Folk Festival. And one of the events they have at that is entitled the Liars Contest.
Liars Contest, really? What's that?
It's mainly storytelling of the tall tales type. And they're short, funny, friendly stories.
Thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate you sharing your experiences with us. And we'll see you at another time. Bye-bye. Hi, Shanna. Thanks so much for meeting with us today. You are a politician, a teacher, an organizer, and a mom. How long have you been a precinct committee person in Carroll Precinct?
I have been the precinct committee woman in Carroll Township since 2018, so 4 years.
Okay, and which parts of the PCP job have you already had experience doing?
So fun story, I had zero experience doing literally any of it before I became one. I went to an indivisible meeting in Cumberland County and they had someone presenting on how important precinct committee people were. And I was like, I don't know what that is. This is my first meeting. So I left, and that week I called the York County Democratic Party and I said, who is my precinct committee person? And they said, no one. Do you want to do it? And so then I got appointed. And then I ran that same year. So I was appointed for like 2 months before I ran and actually was elected as committee person. But prior to doing that, I had no idea that they even existed. So anyone can do this.
What will you concentrate on for this term?
So this is going to be a very different term because most of my first term, as many of you know, I was running for some kind of office, like literally the whole time. And I'm not doing that anymore. So now I'm going to actually have time to focus on regular precinct committee person duties, like door knocking and trying to build a bigger team here in Carroll Township. If everyone does just a little bit, then nobody has to do a lot. So I want to make sure we have folks who can work the polls, do some postcards, knock some doors, get petitions signed, all the things that make a committee person, active. I think if we have a team, then it's not overwhelming for anybody.
If you have questions, where do you go for help?
First term, it was always Bernie because Bernie knows everything. But we have spent 4 years developing this Northern York Club. And so there are a wealth of resources and folks in this organization who know the answer to any question you may have or know how to find it. Plus, I know that you and the leadership of the club are working to develop like an overview document that really lays out all the different parts of being a committee person and how it works. So there are plenty of resources. You could ask any one of us and someone would be able to help.
Okay. Anything new in your life?
Yeah, so I bought a new car at the end of last year. I have a new plug-in Prius Prime that I charge right in my garage, and my average MPGs are like 100 right now, and it's incredible. So highly recommend.
Thank you so much, Shanna. We appreciate you talking with us today. And now you can probably get back to your busy day.
Yes, for sure. Thanks, Fran.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye. Hi, Nancy. Good to see you.
Hi, Fran. Good to be here.
You are a precinct committee person for the Dillsburg Borough Precinct. How long have you been a PCP?
Okay, I started back during the campaign in 2018 when George Scott was running for U.S. Congress and Shanna Danielson was running for Pennsylvania State Senate.
Nancy, here are 10 ways to be a resource for your precinct. How many of these do you do?
Well, it evolved from first canvassing and lit drops. And then I guess in the next election, I was involved in the getting the signatures for petitions, and then helping with distributing postcards and yard signs to people in the Dillsburg area. And then as I found out more about who the Democrats were in the area, I would call on especially some of the people that I knew personally, usually older retired people in my age group, to help with canvassing. Then once Bernie Flinchball asked me about becoming a precinct chairperson, of course, nobody else was doing it. And I just felt compelled to fill that void. And I started, having the table at the polling place and calling on volunteers and just meeting local Democrats helping out with events, that the Northern York Democratic Club were doing. And then phone banking.
And now, how do you feel about all of the tasks?
Well, as you learn, you learn as you go. I think that's the best way of learning. It's not as overwhelming. I mean, when you look at it on a list, it looks a little overwhelming, but we just have to spread it out across the whole northern part of the county.
Well, that leads me to the next question about your team. Do you have a male counterpart?
Yes, all along I've had a few people I knew that I could count on to help out with things. And one person in particular has been helping me, Gary Reniker, and he lives right in the borough, right in town. And he has actually much experience in being politically involved. And he has, he's really good at communicating with people at the polling place and knowing the issues. And so he has volunteered to be the chair, the co-chairman for the Dillsburg Borough.
When you started your team of certain people that you say you can kind of count on, how did you start that? Was that easy to do? Where did you start?
Well, Bernie would give me lists, Bernie and Nikki, like member lists or lists of Democrats in the borough. And then I would just start with calling or emailing people.
So I hear you are a horticulturalist.
Yes, I'm for 22 years, I've worked as a horticulturalist, and I'm doing a lot of volunteer work at the local park. I'm on the board of directors. I do a lot of environmental type projects, pollinator gardens, riparian buffers, and all that. So politics is kind of out of my realm.
Do you have any advice for a brand new PCP?
Well, I think just if you know that you're really needed and do what you feel comfortable with, like I was, starting out, just kind of involved. And there is a lot of support, people telling us how we can help once we know what needs to be done, and just do it.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I appreciate you sharing your experiences with us, and you have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much.